Now, so when I solve a question like that, okay, again, the first thing I want to do, right, is I need to ask myself, what kind of concept is this? Okay, now from here itself, what is the keyword over here? The keyword here is the word remaining. When I see remaining in a fractions question, I call this ROR. ROR stands for remainder of remainder. Or you just want to write R, I think that's fine. R stands for remainder. Okay? Now, then the second thing I want to ask myself is whether if this is type A, type B, or type C. I know it's type C. You refer to your cheat code book, you see, type C says that the keywords are if it starts with a whole number. Can you see how this question starts with a whole number? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so that's one thing that I want you to write first. Now, once I am done with identifying the keywords, I want to start by drawing a model. ROR, if you refer to your cheat code book, you realize that it is always to draw a model. Okay? All right, so this is type C. You must know this is type C, okay? How do I know this is type C? Because it starts with a whole number, can? Now, first thing first, we know that $36 is over here, and this $36 is on calculator. Am I making sense here? All right, so nobody writes. So here's what I want you to do, okay? I'm just gonna get us to write down $36 inside, and we're gonna say that this is a calculator. Now, and 2/3 of is remaining, so what are we going to do? We are just going to draw 3 units. Can you see 3 units? Since it is 2/3, 2/3, that means I only spend 2 units out of the 3 units that I have. Am I making sense here? And this is on an alarm clock. Alarm clock, we put AC. If he had 1/5 of his money left, where do you think is the money that is left? Isn't this the one that is left? Am I making sense? And this is, what did they say? They say that if he had 1/5, this is 1/5. Am I making sense? And we will say that this is 1/5, and we look up, we realize that this is actually how many units? 1 unit. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I want to say that this entire thing over here, you see, let me ask you a question, okay? If this is 1/5, can you see that this is 1/5? Then this is what over 5? 4/5. Correct or not? Correct or not? Because this is my hidden information. Do you understand? So let's practice a bit. If I tell you the right-hand side is 1/3, then what is the left-hand side? Very good. Ding, ding, ding. Agree? This is what I call my hidden information. Do you understand or you don't understand? Very good. Now, so what if I say that this is 6/7? Then what is my hidden information? 1/7. Very good. Can you understand so far? So in this question, right, if I tell you it's 1/5, what is my hidden information? 4/5. Absolutely. Okay? So now Teacher Joseph wants you to understand this very well, okay? Because if you cannot find your hidden information in math, then you're going to face a problem, okay? Now, you watch this, you see, if this is 1/5, okay, if this is 1/5, and this 1/5 is 1 unit. Why 1 unit? Because I have 1 box. Agree or disagree? Right? These are all called units. The one below are called parts. Okay? So what I'm trying to tell you is that this is called 1 unit. 1/5 is actually 1 part. Okay? Now, maybe this is, I don't understand, but eventually you will. I will keep explaining that part. Is that okay? All right? Are you ready so far? So if 1/5 is 1 unit, then 4/5 is how many units? I ask you again, okay? If what, very good, because you see, when 1/5 is 1 unit, 4/5 has to be, how do I get from 1 to 4? How do I get from 1 to 4, you say? Times 4. Thank you. So when I times 4 over here, I will times 4 over here. Agree so far? So 4/5 is actually how many units? 4 units. Am I making sense here? So again, if this whole thing is 4 units, then this is 2 units, then what do you think this 36 is? One more time, you can see from here, the starting all the way to this part, right? It is what? How many units? From here all the way to here is 4 units, right? And this is already how many units? Can you see that these two are 2 units? Are you able to see that? Yeah. So I have 1 unit over here, I have 1 unit over here, right? So what do you think? This one is how many units? Are you able to tell me? Very good. So we can say that 2 units is actually equals to $36. Now, so the next thing I want to do, right, is to always find my Mr. Green Man, which is 1 unit. Agree so far? So we do 36 divided by 2, and that gives me how much? 18. Now, so Mr. Greenman is out, then we are going to read the last sentence. Correct or not? Sentence number 4, okay? It says, how much money did he have?
At first.
What do you think is at first? Where is my at first? At first is everything. Agree or not? At first is from here all the way to here. Correct or not? How many units are there? 1 over here. Sorry, 4 over here and 1 over here. Agree so far? So how many units in total am I supposed to find?
5 units.
Very good. So we are going to say that 5 units is actually equals to how much? 18 times 5. Do you agree or disagree? When I do 18 times 5, you see I just multiply 8 times 5. How much is that? 40. Agree? 5 times 1, 5 plus 4, 90. So this person has $90 at first.